Good evening and welcome to a program devoted entirely to Lefties Losing It. Let's start with Democrats being democracy-denying insurrectionists. Fancy having no king's rallies. You don't have a king. You have a duly elected president who won the election in a landslide against the candidate you undemocratically installed. Remember Kamala and that sham process? We certainly do. And there were plenty of celebrity idiots at these rallies, including the dangerously stupid Mark Ruffalo.
The likes of Putin and Netanyahu and Kim Jong-un of the world.
Also at the rally were the likes of Susan Sarandon, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Glenn Close, and the unfunniest man on the planet, Jimmy Kimmel. Sadly, Eva Longoria couldn't be there, but she recorded this message earlier.
Every time I try to record a message, I just start crying, and then I don't want it to be about me and my emotions about it, but it's just so inhumane, hard to watch. It's hard to witness from afar. I can't imagine what it's like to be in Los Angeles right now. I can't believe it's happening in Austin, Texas. I can't believe it's happening all over the country. The comments and people's reactions to it is really so surprising to me because it is un-American.
She's shocked by people's reactions. These people really do exist in a parallel universe. The deportation program, as we discussed at length last week, is enormously popular. Trump campaigned on it, he won on it, he has a mandate, and the group who have swung most strongly in support of his tough immigration policies are immigrants themselves, legal ones. But the question has to be asked, what is it with Democrats and violence? They cannot even hold a dumb democracy-denying rally without turning on each other. Let's check what happened in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh my God, that's a gun. That's a gun. Come on. Come on. Get out. Get over here. Shay, come here.
According to police, a man who was believed to be part of a peacekeeping team for the No Kings protest shot at another person at that rally, Arturo Gamboa, who was brandishing a rifle for some reason. And this No Kings peacekeeping team member managed to strike both the rifleman and an innocent bystander who tragically later died at hospital. Now, Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey has no time for lawless rioters, those incapable of holding a peaceful protest. Here he tells them precisely what will happen if they try that sort of crap in Florida.
If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop.
Gotta love him, but can we really be shocked by the way Democrat supporters are behaving when this is an example of their representatives? Watch the behaviour here of Senator Alex Padilla, who tried to gatecrash Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem's press conference.
Hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
Many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty.
Yes, that's a senator. Unhinged antics. The senator messed around and he found out.
Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you don't my hands, go ahead, put them behind my back.
All right. Cool. Other hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
And the Democrats and their media lapdogs acted like he was the victim. This was a sign of a dictatorship that a senator would be crash-tackled. They gave this clown a platform to spew this nonsense. Here he is on MSNBC.
Democrats say that Secretary Noem should resign. Is that where you are?
Look, that's maybe not my focus right now, but I do think there's some serious questions. How does the cabinet secretary not know the senator from California when she steps foot into Los Angeles? She came through the Center for Confirmation at one point, and certainly how does the Secretary of Homeland Security not know how to de-escalate a situation? It's because she can't or because they don't want to.
Even the baseball wasn't safe from these activists. We had this bit of tone-deaf activism at Dodger Stadium on the weekend. Here is singer Vanessa Hernandez, known as Neza. No, I've never heard of her either. Anyway, here she is being told to sing the national anthem in English, obviously, but instead she sang it, screeched it really, in Spanish, and then she cried about it.
It's okay. We are going to do the song in English today, so I'm not sure. Today, out of all days, I could not. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just could not believe when she walked in and told me no. But I just felt like I needed to do it. Para mi gente.
Hero. I wonder if she's worked out why Mexicans speak Spanish. Could it be because they were conquered, Neza, colonised by Spain? She's singing the language of the colonisers, but she wants you to know she's very proud.
I'm proud of myself for doing that today. Because my parents are immigrants and they've been citizens like my whole life at this point. They got documented really early, but I just can't imagine them being ripped away from me. Even at this age, like, let alone like a little kid. Like, what are we doing?
So your parents are legal migrants and no parent is ripped away from their kid. The kids go back with them to the parents' home country. What we're doing, you asked, we're enforcing the law. That's what's happening in America, you know, like Obama did when he deported a record number of illegal immigrants, more than 2.5 million, earning himself the nickname the Deporter-in-Chief. Have we forgotten about that? And though the protesters claim this is about no kings, it's about due process, what they really want to do is overturn the entire system, democracy, capitalism. They want to burn it all down. Here is Army Horowitz undercover in a keffiyeh, and he gets the protesters to say the quiet bit out loud.
But is it more about due process or more about overturning the system?
Overturning the system.
For sure.
Yeah, I think we have to overturn the system.
Overturn this whole American system.
The whole system needs to be done.
Do we want to replace it with what?
I don't.
Do we need?
That's the thing. That's the thing. This might turn into something else. Those 13, how many countries are being banned from traveling?
Yeah.
They might have something as well beyond this too.
I mean, maybe we do. We go like the Haiti system, or
it might spark
Yemen or Afghanistan. Exactly. That might work better.
Exactly.
Do you condemn the violence?
Never.
Do I condemn violence?
Yeah.
I don't condemn people for fighting what they believe is right.
In order to get your point across, sometimes there has to be violence.
Do you really condemn the violence, or do you understand it?
I would stand it. Stand up against the bully. Somebody's going to need violence.
So we need violence.
Because we're going to continue to bite the hand that you think the fuck feeds us.
This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of what's yet to come.
Can you condemn the violence, or do you understand it?
I understand it.
I understand it.
We need to break shit down before we can rebuild.
Burn it down.
Burn it down.
Okay, folks, get ready to lose some brain cells. Listen to this chat between Bill Maher and Marxist moron Sean Penn, you know, the dude who cozies up to socialist dictators, real dictators. Listen here as he accuses Donald Trump of negligent homicide, mass negligent homicide, for ending the waste and fraud of USAID.
He's already been the end of hundreds of thousands of worlds. People, I'm talking about USAID.
Yeah.
That's negligent homicide. In a sober world, that's negligent homicide.
Oh dear, this man is dumber than a box of rocks, slightly less useful. Even lefty Bill Maher had to call him out.
Really? You meet with
I don't think
Castro and Hugo Chavez, but not the President of the United States?
Yeah, I saw good results come out of some of those things in terms of agendas that I had. I don't think that there's anything that I would... I just personally wouldn't trust anything that was said in the room, including the personality. Yeah, but you could have told more truth or you could have told less truth.
I told a lot of truth. I told everything.
I would have enjoyed a little more brevity on that. But I absolutely understand that.
But that's just emotional. You were just triggered.
It's possible. It's possible. It's true that.
But I
for
would
some
like
reason this particular president triggers me rather often.
Exactly. He makes people crazy, but he's not making me crazy.
Now, a little reminder of the sort of crazy crap that Hollywood has-been Sean Penn has spewed about Donald Trump in recent months.
And I do think it's a reasonable theory that Donald Trump is not unlike the spouse of someone who leaves him perhaps for another, who then murders their former partner because if they can't have her, nobody can. And I think Donald Trump in his solipsism may have that relationship with the world, and that this destruction is in part a power play and also a literal intention of his final out.
You think he'll try to stay on?
I think he might try to destroy the world before he ages out of life.
Wacko, and this from the man who cozies up to brutal dictators, real ones like Hugo Chavez. This is what Sean Penn had to say about meeting Hugo Chavez.
I will wish him nothing but that great strength he has shown over and over again. It is only possible to be so inspiring as he is.
Told you he's as dumb as a box of rocks. As for Bill Maher, I think Conservatives have a bad case of the bigotry of low expectations when it comes to Maher. We praise him wildly for repeating things Conservatives have been saying for years. But never forget, he was part of the Trump deranged media that did everything in its power to push catastrophist conspiracy theories to try to get Kamala over the line. But Bill Maher is at least occasionally clever and funny, more than you can say about the dim-witted, painfully unfunny Stephen Colbert.
That in August, you're going to be playing Jesus.
That's right.
In Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl.
That's right, yeah.
At the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
First woman to play Jesus in a major production, long overdue. I've said for years I'd love to see a woman in that part.
What an odd thing for a practicing Catholic to say. Now, if you want to see what makes anti-Trumpers so worked up, so perpetually outraged, well, don't ask these guys.
Trump's a Why is that? I don't know. We don't like him. That's the word around here.
Any particular reason why you don't like him?
No clue at all. I'm just going with everybody else saying.
Would you say any immigration law is an unjust law?
I'm for open borders, man. No people are illegal anywhere. This is all our planet.
Let's hear from this leftist lady, a classic awful. AWFL, affluent white female liberals. They're a scourge. Here she explains what has got her and her friends so angry.
So I'm in my beautiful city, LA, and I have friends texting me like all morning. My gardener didn't show up. My housekeeper didn't show up. My farmer's market was closed. Everyone's scared. Well, this is not going to just happen in LA. And you 1%ers that only voted for Trump because of money? Guess what? You're going to have to do your own dishes or clean your own house or mow your own lawn.
Oh no, they're going to lose their illegal cheap labour. Maybe you can pay real wages to people in the country legally. Do they really think their love of modern-day slave labour is a winning argument? And the 1% overwhelmingly voted for the Democrats. Showing again that the left are unhinged with hate and violence, here are some TDS sufferers setting up a mini guillotine to behead Trump. And here are parents encouraging their kids to behave like hate-filled TDS sufferers. Here is a proud mum with a septum ring. The septum rings are like a modern-day warning system. You see one and you know you're about to be assailed with nonsense.
My husband and my son, my 7-year-old son, just walked out the door to go to a No Kings protest. And I'm staying home because my other son does not feel well. And as they were walking out the door, I said, "Thank you for being so brave and going and doing this." And my son looked at me and said, "Will it change things?" And I said, "I hope so, buddy."
No, son, it won't change anything. It will not change anything. Now, here's another joker at an anti-Trump, anti-ICE, anti-America, really, rally. He's asked a simple question about why didn't he care when it was Obama deporting millions of people.
Did you vote for Obama and Biden? I did, yeah. How do you feel about their deportations, being they actually deported more people than Donald Trump?
That's a good question because I really wasn't paying attention at that point. So I can't really say.
At least that one's honest. You've got to give him that. Now, this next woman is a hero, an American hero doing God's work. Bless you, ma'am.
Look, this one's got to catch up to the rest of them. Got his sign ready already. Look, another privileged-ass white man. Look, another privileged-ass white man who wants illegals, especially illegal criminals in the country. Oh, look at the ponytail. What, no man bun? Didn't have time to put your hair up, sweetie? Loser, loser.
Now let's hear from Ilhan Omar, a woman who seemingly loads the country that gave her refuge. Here she claims that free, democratic America is one of the worst places on earth.
I grew up in a dictatorship. And I don't even remember ever witnessing anything like that. To have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets.
And you know, we've heard the ladies of The View say some crazy, catastrophically dumb stuff over the years. They're a rich source of material for this segment, but this week they've really hit a new low. Listen to this derangement. Here, Whoopi Goldberg claims that Americans can't be critical of Iran's gross human rights abuses because life is just as bad for Americans in America if they're different, if they're gay or black.
And it's slow.
But let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Keep hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step foot during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit in Toronto.
Killed for I'm sorry.
Listen, I can't have my hair showing. I can't wear a skirt. I can't have my arms out.
I'm telling you,
I literally said it was up to the Iranian people.
Yes, it is up to them. And that's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
I mean, where do you even start? Is she really likening crime happening in America to the Iranian regime, the government killing gay people, killing infidels, beating and locking up women for showing their hair? Can she possibly be that stupid, or is she just a massive liar? Because right now, there are no other options.
Nobody wants to diminish the very real problems we have in this country. That is no one's intent. But I think it's important we remember there are places much darker than this country and people who deserve rights.
Not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels that way. Listen, I'm sorry. You know, when you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965.
Okay, they don't have free and fair elections in Iran. It's not even the same universe. They can't go out of their house. The women.
You know what? There's no way I can make you understand.
No, words are not your friends, Whoopi. Neither is logic and facts. Perhaps white saviour, the awful, affluent white female lefty Joy Behar can explain it for you.
Try to reverse roles with a black person in this country, let's say, because I think that's what you're talking about. Yes. Just try to understand from their point of view. From that point of view, this country does not do them well, does not go for them.
I completely acknowledge that, but we shouldn't compare atrocities.
If you're talking about Iran, Iran, of course, is doing worse things, but relatively speaking, it feels bad.
Relatively speaking, are these women insane? You heard Sunny there say we shouldn't compare atrocities. What, like someone not respecting your pronouns compared to being hung in the public square for crimes like adultery, homosexuality and blasphemy? Really? And the viewers had a terrible week because they had Hollywood star and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger on, and he being a bit of a TDS sufferer, they expected him to rail against Trump's deportation program. He didn't, and they weren't happy.
You are an immigrant. You're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing, when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you said that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was impressed by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here with the age of 21, with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that.
Oh no, he's not answering as they expect. Maybe he'll eventually bag the country, bag the deportation program. But no, Arnie wants immigrants to behave legally.
But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal. And those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest. And you have to behave like a guest. And to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country.
Did you see Sonny's hand just reach out and touch his arm there, trying to curb his stream of consciousness? No, Arnie, you were supposed to say nobody is illegal. There's nothing wrong with breaking the law to enter the country or breaking the law while in the country. Now, let's check in with an Ivy League graduate. Here is one from Columbia, decked out in a keffiyeh, naturally. And what a useful degree he's acquired.
Today I'm graduating with a degree in comparative literature and society. The comparative literature department at Columbia is cool because it asks you to choose a couple languages and build this sort of hodgepodge degree of your interests.
What kind of job can you get in this field?
People go to med school, people go to law school, a lot of people go to any amount of graduate school, and then I feel like a lot of people also end up in corporate spaces as well.
And sadly, that's the problem. These brainwashed activists end up in the corporate world and do great damage while they're often in HR or corporate affairs departments. Now, good news, some new pronouns have just dropped, you know, they, them, ZZ. So 2024. Now the crazy narcissistic kids are identifying with neopronouns like pup and puppy.
Pup, puppy. But why might someone want to use pup, puppy as pronouns? Well, this person can have a strong connection to puppies and identify with some of their qualities, like loyalty, energy, or softness. It could also be a way to express a non-human identity. Some people feel that being human doesn't fully describe who they are, so they identify as non-human. So using pronouns like pup, puppy can help a person describe that feeling. And please remember that this is a person's experience, and just because you don't know or you can't relate to this person's experience doesn't mean that it's wrong, doesn't mean that it's bad. bad, and it does not mean that you have the right to bully that person.
But you can mock them because it's fun, and frankly, it's a little bit necessary. You see, affirming madness, affirming delusion isn't being kind, it's being weak and part of the problem. But for those of you who want to respect neopronouns like pup and puppy, this is how you do it.
No one's trying to hurt you by using these pronouns. No one's trying to harm you by using these pronouns. Someone's just trying to live their own life, so you live your own life and you let them live their own life, okay? Pup doesn't owe anyone an explanation. Pup gets to define puppy self or not. People keep asking, but Pup made it clear. What Pup is isn't up for discussion.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Donald Trump is the funniest president we've ever had and will ever have. No other leader could turn a flag-raising ceremony into a comedy skit.
So somewhere here you have that. Anyway, let's have a good, they call it a lifting. They also use another word, but I'm not going to use that word. You know what that is? The word, it starts with an E. You know what the word is? If I ever used it, I'd be run out of town by you people. All right, so enjoy it.
And President Trump hosted Juventus at the White House, and the issue of men in women's sport came about, and the team squibbed it.
Men playing in women's sports, you know? Who's never heard that? Have you ever had women? Could a woman make your team, fellas? Tell me. You think? You're being nice. What do you think? Think a woman could make the team? General managers, what do you think?
Difficult.
Don't say it.
We have a very good women's team, though.
You do have, right?
Yeah.
But they should be playing with women, right?